Telling your friends and family that you play Genshin Impact or that you play any gacha game, for example, that's popular nowadays, often results in two completely separate things. One, they have no idea what you're talking about. This is the good ending. You want them to just sit there and be like, you want them to do that. You really do. Because you don't want option B. Option B is they know what you're talking about. They have no interest in it whatsoever. Not because they don't know what it is, but because they know what the games are. They know about the communities, they know about Genshin, they know about WooBa, etc, etc. And it sucks. It sucks being a fan of Genshin Impact. It sucks being a fan of gacha games. It really does, because some of these games are good, in my opinion. Like, I understand that the gacha mechanics are there. And some of these games, all these games are predatory. No matter, I just got attacked by a bug. No matter how many free pools that these gacha games give you, they're always going to be predatory because they want to make money. That doesn't mean that there's no passion and heart and soul behind these games. I think there is. I think that the dev teams behind the story and the artwork and the atmosphere have heart and soul in them, because you can see it through the gameplay. You can tell when you play that story in Genshin, when you play that story in Honkai, ZZZ, or Weathering Waves, or whatever gacha you play, you can tell with a nice story from those games that there was actual passion put behind it. But man, it sucks to be a fan of these games, and it sucks to make content on these games, because you're always constantly reminded that there are weirdos. There are weirdos in this community. I don't think I'm any better than anyone else in this community, except for the people who like the characters that are like this tall. You know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's weird, and it sucks getting hit in the face with water, because inevitably, if you're a fan of these games and you make content or you don't, and you try to interact with these games in any shape or form, you are going to be hit in the face with the reality that there are some really big weirdos in this community. And it's like that in most gaming communities or anime communities or anything like that. There's always gonna be weirdos here, but it constantly keeps happening. It constantly keeps happening in the Genshin space, in the gacha space, and I know why. I understand why. No, not why they like it, but why it happens. It just sucks, bro. It just sucks. It's so demoralizing sometimes when you finish a banger patch from Genshin, Honkai. I just finished HSR story yesterday with 3.4, and that story was beautiful. It was peak. Absolutely amazing. And then I remembered while scrolling through Twitter, I saw some weird shit about all these games in all the communities. These people are so like, some of the people in these communities act like these games are their lives. And it's so depressing to see sometimes. Like, I understand having a hyperfixation for characters. One of my favorite gimmicks on Twitter is pages that are dedicated to a character. So like people who are called like Daily Finon, Timely Castries, Timely Arlecchino, Daily Arlecchino. They're cool. Like, the ones who are normal are cool because they're really passionate about this character. There's something about this character that they like, whether it's their attractiveness or their aura or their gameplay. There's something about them that they like, and they made a fan account for them. That's normal in like any medium or entertainment. And a lot of them are cool. But there's just, and it's not these accounts. I haven't really seen it from these accounts, but there's some people here, man, that are like, they act like if you like a character, that means that all the characters before them suck, and then they try to crucify you for that. So what if I like Finon? And so what if I like the little gacha animation that appeared when I first booted up Honkai Star Rail yesterday? It was peak. I liked it. I liked seeing Finon and Castries on the screen when I first opened the game. It was something different. It was a cool little animation. Yes, is it there to make you enticed to pull for the character? Yes, it is. But I already like these characters. I was already going to pull them before they ever did this animation because I vibe with them. I know I'm talking about Honkai Star Rail, but this goes with Genshin too, with Skirk, for example. Like, it always sucks that there's always comparisons with these gacha games. Like, WooBa and Genshin is always at odds with each other, and ZZZ, Honkai Star Rail, and Genshin are always at odds with each other, and there's always fighting. There's always fighting in these communities, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I work at a coffee shop, a very popular one, and I see people every single day, and I see different people almost every day of my life, and I interact with people from all different aspects of life, and none of them have ever been as weird as some of these gacha brain rotted people. Now, before some people go in the comments and act like I'm like dissing the games or whatever, that's not what I'm doing. I'm making this because I love these games. The content that these games offer for free. I understand it's a gacha game. You're supposed to put money toward these characters and stuff. But from a perspective of someone who's free to play that doesn't care necessarily about doing the in-game content all the time, the story alone is so nice. It's so different with these games because like I come from playing Destiny where like every new deals, every new story content drop, I have to pay for it. And that's ultimately what made me lose interest in playing Destiny, because you constantly have to keep paying for this story. Versus in these gacha games, you're given every single piece of story content or game mode for free. You never have to pay for anything. I'm not defending the billion-dollar company, by the way. I understand that all of these gacha companies are predatory. However, there's heart and soul put into these games. You can tell with the story. People act like Genshin is soulless. And I can understand why it is compared to like the different Hoyo games. There does seem to be a tiny bit more love put into ZZZ and Honkai Star Rail, but Genshin is by no means soulless. A brain-rotted take to think that there is not passion behind the development team that makes these games. You can tell in the writing, whether you think the writing is bad or not, you can tell in the atmosphere, in the environment, the tiny little details that don't have to be there that are there. That's what matters. That's what shows that there is soul and passion behind these games. And like I said in the beginning, it sucks being a fan because I try to tell people sometimes that these games are really cool, and then they look up things about these games and they're met with constant drama. And content creators do play a part to an extent. I'm not saying it's always certain content creators' fault or content creators that there's drama in these games, but drama sells, it makes views, and unfortunately, just like every other game out there and every other entertainment, drama is always gonna do good. And it does really good in gacha content because people gather these groups of diehard fans and unintentionally pin them against each other. And I'm not saying it's the content creator's fault completely, but some people just don't understand the power they have when they say certain things. And I'm not saying it's bad to criticize. If you don't like Genshin, if you don't like ZZZ, if you don't like Honkai, if you don't like Wuwa or any Persona 5 Phantom X, if you don't like these gacha games, that's perfectly okay. And a message to the gacha community, don't attack people because they don't like these games. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But as a community, like, man, I don't even want to say we because I don't want to put myself in this community, but I make content on it, and I really enjoy making content on it. I enjoy streaming the games. I enjoy playing and talking to my friends about the lore and stuff, so I might as well put myself in the community. We as a community that likes these games need to do better. We need to do better. Everyone needs to do better from every perspective of the gacha genre. You need water thrown in your face to remind you that we are human beings playing a video game for fun and entertainment, and that's all it should really be. Some people stress out way too much about whether someone likes Wuwa, Genshin more, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, that it sucks, like I said again, being a fan of these games, because it's like you're constantly in the middle of a divorced parent, and I've been through that. It's always like you're the middle child when you like multiple of these games, because you're just constantly surrounded by people fighting over it when it doesn't matter. I don't know, man. A lot of this drama is really pointless, and like, I want to get back into making content for these games. I really do. But like, sometimes I ask myself if it's even worth it, because that means that ultimately I'm gonna have to put myself with the weird parts of the community. And again, if you feel offended by this video, you're most likely not the person I'm talking about, because I feel like most people that might see this are gonna be the ones that are the normal-ish ones, okay? It's okay if you're a little weird. I am too. That's completely fine. There's a bug on me. I apologize. There was a mosquito on my leg. Ultimately, just do better. Please, just be self-aware. Just be self-aware when you post stuff and say stuff, and just enjoy these games. Just enjoy them, because they're fun. It doesn't matter if someone else doesn't like it, just enjoy it. And don't be a weirdo. That's about it. See ya.